Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I will be checking out a new album from Termina called Soul Elegy. I have covered a good amount of the singles on the channel, the stuff that came out last year like Translucent and Take Flight. I have all of that covered on the channel. I did save the newest single before album release week, Erase You, featuring Calle from Brand of Sacrifice, for this full album listen. Anything I covered on the channel I will condense down, since I already have a full reaction and my thoughts on whatever the song is on my channel. But other than that, I will be checking out everything else that is new off of this album on this listen, which I'm very excited for. These newer singles have been very clean for me, very much addressed any issues I had with their debut release, which was still phenomenal. So I talked about all of that in my most recent Termina video on the channel for Inside My Walls, which was a track I loved. I'm very stoked to check the rest of this out. Huge shout out to Nick Nocturnal for sending this over to me in time to get a video sorted, even though I didn't before the album came out. I've talked on the channel a lot about how this last week and a half has been insane for me in terms of shows and driving down to Denver, which is not super close for me. So that is the only thing that's really held me back. Now I finally get my first full listen. At the time I'm recording this, release day was yesterday, but I'll probably post it on Monday or Tuesday of the following week, because that's when I usually do album videos, starting at the beginning of the week. So I am going to sit here, go through my first listen. I'll link all of Termina's social media, promotional links, any sort of merch that you can get, as well as all of Nick's social media, Andy's social media, in the description of this video. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. So, opening with Translucent. I do have this on the channel. High expectations for this record. These songs, the ones that were last year, definitely going back onto my playlist with this album release. New track. Ooh. Whoa. Andy's vocals are insane. Oh. The slow down to the piano. Oh. This is the... I forgot this track features Taylor Barber. Oh. Oh my. Okay, everything, nothing. The next track features Masquerade. Oh. Oh. Catchiness, groovin', big riffs. Ooh. hear that lead too. I really, really dig this one.
I know you're lost inside denial. I know it's easy to pretend. You've got the strength to break the cycle. On and on it goes again. On and on it goes again.
Gorgeous solo. Kicks in the outro. Woo! That's the one so far. Oh. Ooh, that is a riff.
I found the beauty in tragedy, searching for solace in silent screaming. Felt all the power corruption brings, but only solitude remains. Bang at the blood of my enemies. Malignant spirits still call out to me, and now their voices are deafening. But I can't imagine any other life. In the dirt, I love it 'cause it hurts. It's us against the world. We're not gonna make it. For too long I've been stuck in the ways. Where emotions decay. Save your compassion, I can't relate. Now that my senses have all but left me. Never wanted to say it in any way, despite the fact that every act is a saturate. Tripping my only to say when pretend that I feel the same. I'm trying to open my mind with the sharpest knife, but the insistence of my vision to block the lines. Got no reason to live, can't forget myself the same. We're not gonna make it. No. I've let the darkness take a hold of me. Maybe it strikes me down, make me unclean. But I'm chasing your feels. All I need. Nothing can break the chains. I'm just a key. I'm not perfect. I'm not all. I can't keep trying. So unravel it all. My spirit, heart, and soul. Now I'm writhing in the dirt. I love it 'cause it hurts. It's us against the world.
That's the one. Okay, into Parasocial. I have this one on the channel. Woo. I've definitely got 2 real big tracks off of this so far. Ugh. Another big feature, Sean from Make Them Suffer. I think the closing track has Calle too, so we've got features on features. Andy's range is crazy. Ooh. Up there. Beautiful.
I don't even feel you near. They can't even speak your name. I can't even see the way. Counting down the days, 2 souls to make amends. I shared mistakes, building memories to the better ends. But it's never too late to repair. So we build up a boat in the bed. Let the world wash our souls in the sand until we bury the sun. And no, it's never too late to repair. When nothing is left to forget. Follow me 12 times and we can bury the sun. Flash to my sands.
Not really how I was expecting the Sean feature to be utilized, and I like it.
And no, it's never too late to repair.
Oh, those vocals back there.
Nothing is left to forget. Follow me 12 times and we can bury the sun.
Huh. Alright. These next two, this track and the next one, I have on the channel. And then 3 new tracks left, I think. Mind you, I saved the track with Calle. One of my favorite choruses from the singles. Translucent also huge. Okay, this is the single that came with that album announcement, which I did do on the channel.
Shadows in your eyes, they hide behind your veil and tell a solemn tale, but I see through it. Oh, you carried it for so long, never falter. I've grown weary of your sad songs. Play a ring of horror. There is a place in my
This is so catchy. So much groove in these riffs too. Okay, the rest of it will be new to me. Another video too, since I didn't check this one out. They definitely kept a vibe with their music videos. That opening riff was another one for the books. Oh. 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 Oh, that snare. Oh, that went by fast. Okay, we're not done. I was like, what? Damn. Alright, final 2 tracks. This one called Under Your Knife. What a ride so far.
I held your hand, withstanding your demands, enchanted by the rapture that you promised me. Under your knife, deprived of normal life, I strive to find a meaning that will set me free. A broken promise in an ocean of mistake. You'll reassure me that I'm happy out this way. But I can't seem to forget. Each time you lie for profit, and it's making me nauseous to hide your crimes of passion. Now every day's the same, can't will away.
Ooh. A little bit of a different approach vocally with this one.
Praying for death, regrets are all I've kept. You've left me in the dark to run in agony. I never thought the cost of what was lost could rob me from the inside out and atrophy. I was so blind to signs of what it
Got that eerie sort of atmosphere going on too.
Seem to forget each time you lie for profit, and it's making me nauseous to hide your crimes of passion.
Ooh. Some big solos here too. Still go back there. Still got that eeriness too. Whew. One more. And this is the one that features Calle, who I'm pretty sure when you Google search his name, it still comes up with my picture for whatever reason. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Oh. Woo. Got me. Whoa. Definitely some range on these choruses too, which we'll talk about at the end. This is a good one. Yeah. Whoa. Woo! Huh. Okay. We did it. Termina, Soul Elegy. Let's discuss. When talking about Termina, I've mentioned that Dysphoria is a great debut album. I think there were some issues with it that I had that have all definitely been addressed since they started putting out these new singles. They've made some changes production-wise. Chris Turner is now doing their drumming, but having Nick do the guitars, and we've gotten some vocals from Nick since the first album too, and having Andy on vocals is just an excellent combination to begin with. But the changes that they've made from Dysphoria to Soul Elegy have been absolutely phenomenal for me, exactly what I want to see from this band. I think some of the features listed on this track, some of the features listed on the tracks for this album had me thinking I knew what the songs might sound like, but then the features were utilized a bit differently, including Sean from Make Them Suffer. That was probably the track that stood out to me the most as having a really creative approach to the feature, and use of his vocals in that song are fantastic. Some of the slower, like more ballad sounding tracks still have that, like, the edge to them. The aggressiveness is still there. We get some phenomenal solos on this record too, they tap into that really clean sound, and I think having it carry over. What was the last track that had a solo on it? I think it was the one before. It's not the one with Kyle, I don't think. Maybe it is, I'm not sure at this point, but the solo then carries over after. You can still hear that guitar back there. That is phenomenal to me. The chorus is taking some various approaches in terms of the register for Andy, or just the melody choices that they use and stuff. I think that is key here as well, because Andy has such a versatile voice, and I think this is the project where it's utilizing his range the best. I love Andy in Monuments. It's been a fantastic change for me. I think when the announcement came, the excitement was there for everyone. They've come and delivered on that. They did with a single that wasn't even included on the album, which is still one of my favorite tracks that Monuments has done with Andy. But this kind of, like, where it comes with his singing, and you hear in Wonder and Macari and his projects that take different, like, shape or form than something like Monuments or, you know, the heavier parts of Termina. They also utilize his ability to sing and hit some of those really high notes with his singing voice. Obviously, he's capable of doing the same with his screams. His lows have always been something to me that have really stood out, the layered lows, but just the overall sound from them has even improved, which I wasn't sure I necessarily even needed from Andy, but he's just all together sounding very polished on this record. So the use of the feature, some huge riffs on this album as well. There'll be some contenders for my Riff of the Year playlist, but no doubt about that. To me, there are just some really big moments with the guitars all over, whether it be the solos I was mentioning or some of those big riffs from the very beginning of the record. I'm just kind of zoned in with my attention, which for me, somebody with ADHD, doesn't always happen all the way through a record. Sometimes there are some parts where I feel a little disconnected from it on my first listen, and maybe it stays that way after my first listen. But this was not one of those albums. I felt every track had a draw for me, and my favorite track list is relatively long for only having heard this album once. Sometimes it takes me more listens than that, but Everything Nothing was, you know, first 3 tracks. That is a standout track for me. Bathed in Solitude with Marcus, definitely most likely my favorite track, but there are a bunch of contenders on this. Like I mentioned, the Sean feature was not necessarily what I expected the overall sound for the song to be like, but I loved the way that feature turned out, so Blackwater will also be up there for me. Erase You was phenomenal, and then Under Your Knife was almost like what I had expected from the closing track, but we went that, like, you know, the Thal direction with the closer, which is another kind of throwing for a loop type of situation. If they had switched those 2 tracks, I don't think anybody would have, like, looked twice at it, but choosing to end off the way they did with Wounded Masquerade was a very strong decision, because I think while, as I've already mentioned, they utilize the vocal range from Andy in full, and they're also able to match that instrumentally. So this moment at this record, I'm mixing up my words, brain is tired, but this record has a good amount of diversity to it, a good amount of contrast, I think, but there is overall that aggressive heaviness to it that is present throughout the entire thing. Like I mentioned, even the tracks that give you a slower, more ballad type feel are still heavy. So ending off like that, I do think makes a bit more sense for, like, the, you know, for me, the closer I usually look at as, like, the encapsulation of the album. It's not always the case, but something that touches on the overall sound, I think, can be better for me than just, like, you know, we're gonna strip this back and do, like, an acoustic really sad song for the closer, which of course works. You have stuff like Missing Limbs from Sleep Token, but big tracks that sort of encompass everything. Wilt from Closing Absence. Holding Absence is also one of my favorite closers. You know, you have Invent Animate, who always does something fantastic for that last track on the record that sort of touches on everything. Those to me tend to be favored more than just that, you know, this is our saddest song, this is very slow, so it's at the end of the record type of deal. So Under Your Knife is another big track for me, having the Saxel Rose feature, Jason Richardson. It is a phenomenal track, and then that's another one that kind of taps into what I've mentioned with the choruses having a good amount of variety. I do think the approach with songwriting and structure is a little bit repetitive, in a sense. It's nothing on this album that took a song structure that was like, oh, what did they just do there? It didn't really have anything like that for me, other than, like, the actual sounds of the songs and approaches and the choruses sounding a bit different. So I suppose if I had to pick something that I would want to see different, it might be like a little bit of a curveball or unexpected approach with some of the songwriting, some of the structure. But it's not something that will prevent me from re-listening to all these tracks a bunch of times. I think the features, they did phenomenally, because when you have an album that's heavy on features, sometimes it feels like it's just for the sake of, you know, having a feature on there that is a vocalist maybe, or something people will know, a musician people will know, and it just feels like portions of the track are cut out after. It doesn't feel thought out, and these don't give that impression, even though there are features that have that certain spot where they're meant to be. But like when you look at the Marcus Bridge feature, he's got his part and then he comes back in that chorus. Stuff like that, I love to see. That kind of gives that same feel as the guitar from the solo in maybe Erase You, but I think it might be Under Your Knife. I need to obviously get a bunch more listens on this so I can get to know the tracks a bit better, but having it carry over, it kind of gives that same sort of feel. So I'm very happy with this. This is a step up from Dysphoria for me, which was an album I did really enjoy and thought was a great debut. I just had a few things I would have liked to see differently, and I see them differently on this album for sure, while it keeps all of those things that made Termina really strong as they came out of the gate present in the album. Bathed in Solitude, I do think I'm going to pick that one out as my favorite track. That is the song for me. I knew when I saw the feature it would likely be up there for me, but with a vocalist like Andy, with the things I've mentioned that this band has to offer, they've got Chris Turner drumming for them now, and it sounds phenomenal. Drumming on this record is outstanding, which is no surprise to probably anyone who knows who the drummer is. Yeah, I think, what else can I even say? I suppose those are really my thoughts on my first listen of the album. I very much love this. I think it's a great, follow-up to their debut, and I think that this will go over very well. It should be one that gets the attention that it deserves. I think Nick just recently hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is huge. Good for Nick. He does some really interesting content, and I think the how to such and such in 30 seconds videos have been probably one of my favorite things that he's done, especially when they turn into full tracks with some of the artists and such. It's just not content you see a ton of in what we listen to and what we're doing and stuff. So very well deserved. I know Nick's been at it for a long time as well, and is a very respected name in the metalcore, whichever genre you want to, subgenre you want to slap on it, community, and rightfully so. Obviously, sometimes I think people overlook being a YouTuber and the talent that Nick really has, and this record will be a great way to show that off. He did a fantastic job with everything, guitars, showing some of his vocals. I would love to hear, I think, some more of Nick's vocals. I don't necessarily know that that's a gripe I would have with this album or anything. I know it's newer for him, but I think those moments were big for a lot of people, tuning into the album release, the singles coming out and stuff, so seeing more of that would be cool. I've seen some of the vocal work that he's done in some of his videos and stuff, and I think it would be great to see however that would come across. So I guess those are my thoughts on my first listen to Soul Elegy. The only thing I would really, pick out to be different is maybe some freshening up of the song structure and such, but it's really not an issue for me because each track on this record I feel holds its own weight, and I'm not even really sure which ones will be my least played after. Normally I have a fairly good idea of what will be like top of listening and what may not get so many plays. When I did my Resolve album recently, I had a very good idea, and in listening to that album more, I think it was pretty spot on. But this may be one where I'm just playing everything. I do think that track with Marcus Bridge on it will end up being the one that gets the most plays from me, but I suppose we'll see. Time will tell if that's the way that things end up being, because there's a lot of stuff that stuck out to me probably almost just as much. So as I learn the songs and listen to them more, who knows how things will end up playing out. So let me know what your favorite tracks were in the comment, what you thought of the album, what you thought about my thoughts. If you disagree, agree. I will link all of Termina's promotional links, Nick's channel, everything Andy does, all of that will be in the description of this video. Termina merch will be there as well. We saw in some of, I think, the end of some of the single videos, some of that merch, which was looking very good. So I will link that as well for you to check out. Make sure you go drop a comment on one of the music videos on Nick's channel if you enjoyed this record and haven't done so yet. Stuff like that really helps with the algorithm and such, which may not sound like much if you're not on the back end of YouTube stuff, but it really does help out. So giving them the like, giving them a comment, that goes a long way. And that's pretty much it. I will link my link tree in the description of this video, of course. That will have my Patreon, my Twitch channel, Discord server, which is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. All of that stuff on Patreon. I do a ton of different stuff. We're voting right now in all tiers for end of the year favorites, albums, songs, EPs, breakdowns, choruses, riffs, all of that stuff. Getting a good idea for what the final, RR Patreon list will look like at the end of the year, and then I'll end up doing a video on that and talking about the choices that Patreon picks out. I also do mixtape/playlists for tier 3 that I update monthly with 20 to 25 songs that I'm hoping you haven't heard before. Try to pick stuff that's kind of off the radar somewhat, but aligns with whatever you pick for fans of and stuff. Everything I offer is listed out, so if you're interested in checking that out, that will be there. Twitch is where I do all my live streaming. I do music-related streams, of course. I do a request stream every week, and then I'm planning on doing some additional streams that are themed. As we go into the end of the year, I should get that schedule kind of clicked into rotation, but I'll also be doing some stuff talking about shows, since the end of this year is absolutely insane for shows. I'll be going to a lot of stuff. Talking about it on Twitch. If you want to be notified when I go live, that is in the link tree. And the Discord channel or Discord server we've got a ton of amazing people in there. We've got music lovers talking about stuff that's music related and completely unrelated as well. So if you want to come join, hang out, check out the Discord, that'll be there as well. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.